The Fokker 70 is a regional jet that represents one of the last significant developments in European short to medium-range aviation before the rise of Embraer and Bombardier as dominant manufacturers in the regional jet market. Developed by the Dutch company Fokker, the aircraft was designed as a shortened, smaller version of the highly successful Fokker 100. Its introduction into the market in the early 1990s was intended to address the needs of airlines that required a smaller capacity aircraft without compromising performance, efficiency, and comfort. The concept for the Fokker 70 originated in response to feedback from existing Fokker 100 operators, who had expressed a need for a jet that could operate profitably on routes with lower passenger demand while retaining the technological advantages and operating economics of the larger Fokker 100. Fokker recognized that the regional market was becoming increasingly competitive, with several manufacturers planning or introducing jets in the 70 to 100 seat segment, including the Bombardier CRJ and the Embraer ERJ family. In 1989, Fokker officially announced the Fokker 70 project, with the aim of producing a regional aircraft capable of seating between 70 and 85 passengers, depending on configuration, while offering a range suitable for regional flights across Europe, Asia, and North America. The design of the Fokker 70 drew heavily on the Fokker 100, retaining its high level of commonality, which allowed airlines to reduce training costs, spare parts inventories, and operational complexities. The aircraft featured a low-wing design with twin rear-mounted engines, a T-tail, and a pressurized fuselage. Unlike its larger sibling, the Fokker 70 had a fuselage shortened by approximately 3.3 meters, which reduced overall seating capacity while maintaining the same cockpit layout, avionics suite, and flight control systems. By maintaining commonality with the Fokker 100, operators could transition pilots between the two aircraft types with minimal additional training. The Fokker 70 was powered by two Rolls-Royce TAE 620 or 650 engines, which were mounted on pylons at the rear of the fuselage. These engines provided sufficient thrust for short-field takeoffs, high climb performance, and cruise speeds competitive with other regional jets in its class. The choice of Rolls-Royce engines was deliberate, as the TAE family had a proven track record in terms of reliability, fuel efficiency, and maintenance support. The engine placement at the rear of the fuselage also allowed for a quieter cabin experience, reducing noise for passengers and contributing to a more comfortable in-flight environment. The fuselage cross-section of the Fokker 70 allowed for a comfortable 5 abreast seating arrangement, typically configured in a 2+3 layout. The cabin was pressurized and equipped with modern environmental control systems, ensuring passenger comfort across a wide range of altitudes and climates. Overhead storage bins were designed to maximize luggage capacity without impeding passenger movement, and the cabin layout allowed for relatively quick boarding and disembarkation, a critical factor for regional operations where turnaround times directly impact profitability. The cockpit featured advanced avionics for its era, including digital flight instruments, an autopilot system, and navigation equipment compatible with contemporary air traffic control systems. The design also allowed for easy upgrades to navigation and communication systems, enabling the aircraft to meet evolving regulatory requirements without extensive modification. The avionics suite included dual flight management systems, electronic flight instrument systems, and redundant power systems, enhancing both safety and operational reliability. The first flight of the Fokker 70 took place on April 4, 1993, following a comprehensive development and testing program. The flight tests included evaluation of aerodynamic performance, engine reliability, handling characteristics, and systems integration. Pilots involved in the testing reported favorable handling qualities, particularly during approach and landing phases, where the aircraft demonstrated stable behavior even in adverse weather conditions. Takeoff and climb performance were within expected parameters, and the aircraft exhibited efficient fuel consumption relative to its size and passenger capacity. Following a successful flight test program, the Fokker 70 received certification from relevant European aviation authorities in 1994, allowing it to enter commercial service. The first airline to operate the Fokker 70 was KLM Cityhopper, a subsidiary of the Dutch flag carrier KLM, which sought a reliable regional jet to serve European feeder routes from its hub in Amsterdam. The aircraft was deployed on flights between smaller regional airports and major international hubs, where its size and range provided an optimal balance of capacity and efficiency. One of the defining characteristics of the Fokker 70 was its ability to operate from relatively short runways, an advantage that allowed airlines to serve secondary airports that were not accessible to larger aircraft. This capability expanded network options for carriers and provided passengers with access to regional destinations that were previously underserved. The aircraft's landing gear design and weight distribution contributed to its ability to safely operate from shorter strips without compromising safety or passenger comfort. Operational experience during the first few years of service highlighted the aircraft's reliability, with minimal unscheduled maintenance and a strong record of on-time performance. Airline feedback emphasized the ease of maintenance, with many components shared with the Fokker 100, allowing airlines to leverage existing spare parts inventories and maintenance personnel expertise. Cabin crew reported favorable passenger feedback, particularly regarding the quiet engines, comfortable seating, and overall cabin environment. In terms of range and performance, the Fokker 70 could operate routes up to approximately 2,500 kilometers, making it ideal for short to medium-haul flights within Europe, parts of Asia, and other regional markets. The aircraft could cruise at speeds around 800 kilometers per hour, providing efficient travel times while maintaining fuel efficiency. Maximum operating altitudes reached 35,000 feet, which allowed the aircraft to avoid much of the turbulence encountered at lower altitudes, contributing to a smoother ride for passengers. The aircraft's climb rate and performance during approach and landing phases were well suited to regional operations, enabling airlines to maintain schedules even on tightly spaced airport slots. The Fokker 70's operational flexibility was further enhanced by its ability to operate in a variety of weather conditions, including moderate icing, crosswinds, and variable runway surfaces. These capabilities allowed airlines to maintain service reliability and minimize cancellations or delays due to adverse weather. Airline operators appreciated the Fokker 70 for its economic performance. Fuel consumption per seat was competitive with other regional jets, and maintenance costs were relatively low due to the aircraft's proven design and component commonality. Flight crew training requirements were streamlined because pilots familiar with the Fokker 100 could transition to the Fokker 70 with minimal additional instruction. This reduced training costs and allowed airlines to efficiently allocate their human resources across their regional fleets. Additionally, the aircraft's cabin design, including passenger seating and environmental systems, contributed to customer satisfaction, which was increasingly important in a competitive regional market. Passenger experience was further enhanced by smooth takeoff and landing characteristics, low cabin noise levels, and consistent climate control. The aircraft's modern avionics suite also ensured that flights could operate safely under instrument flight rules and navigate complex airspace environments efficiently. Despite its advantages, the Fokker 70 faced challenges in the marketplace. Production numbers were limited, with only 47 units built, due in large part to the financial difficulties faced by Fokker, which declared bankruptcy in 1996. This limited the availability of new aircraft for operators and eventually shifted market demand to competing aircraft from Bombardier and Embraer, which offered larger production numbers and growing support networks. Nevertheless, the Fokker 70 continued to be operated by airlines for decades due to its reliability, efficiency, and passenger comfort. The aircraft became particularly valued in niche markets where its smaller size, short field capability, and performance characteristics aligned perfectly with operational needs. Its limited production numbers also contributed to a certain exclusivity among operators, with the aircraft often considered a premium option for regional routes where alternative jets were either too large or less efficient. The early years of operation also saw the Fokker 70 participate in various demonstration and evaluation programs by other airlines, highlighting its versatility and adaptability. Airlines considered it for regional feeder routes, charter operations, and even specialized missions requiring quick turnaround and short field performance. Feedback consistently emphasized the aircraft's reliability, ease of operation, and positive passenger experience. The aircraft's environmental performance, in terms of fuel efficiency relative to capacity, was also noted as a strength, particularly at a time when operational costs and environmental awareness were becoming more significant factors in airline decision-making. In addition to standard passenger operations, the Fokker 70 was occasionally adapted for cargo, medical evacuation, or governmental purposes, demonstrating the versatility inherent in its design. Its structural integrity, combined with reliable engine performance and adaptable systems, allowed operators to customize the aircraft for specific operational requirements without extensive redesign or modification.